Hey everyone, thanks for joining us tonight. Welcome to our Zoom event, What If? My name is Shona. I'm a mama of two beautiful babies, and I'm so excited to be able to start tonight's proceedings with my own personal journey. So, how it all started. When I was pregnant with my second child, my son, I was diagnosed with antenatal depression. So I'm not really sure. I don't know much about antenatal depression. I'm not really sure if you've heard of it. Similar to postnatal depression, only it's before you have the baby. Um, so it was quite scary. I thought I was going to put a battery drill in my stomach, and my daughter's head, and my husband's head, and my own head. I would wake up in the shower and not know how long I'd been in there for. I would be driving in the car and not know where I was going. I used to try and test myself before panicking. I would sneak a peek at my lunchbox and see if it was empty. I would obviously look to see if my daughter was in the car or not. So you can imagine how stressful that time was, especially whilst being pregnant as well. So I was put on lots of medication, which as a breastfeeding counsellor, I really did not resonate with, but the alternative was quite dire. So I went on the medication. Once I had my son, everything sort of seemed okay, but I must have been incredibly depleted. And 10 months later, I saw my beautiful friend posting on Facebook about her. And this is the state of mind I was in, about her stupid happy business. I was so negative. I wasn't happy for her being happy and vibrant and energetic and working on the beach with her daughter. So after negatively frowning at her posts for a couple of months, my exhaustion was so bad, I was nearly going to wean. Now, as a breastfeeding counsellor, that for me was an absolute travesty. So I messaged my friend Kyla and said, I need them magic beans stat. So I didn't even. So I did what any good wife does and used her husband as a test dummy. I didn't tell him what they were for because I didn't want the placebo effect, and I didn't want him to, I don't know, question it. I just wanted to also. I'm a skeptic. I just wanted to see if they really worked. That's truth be told. 3 weeks after taking them, he slides his head through the lounge room door and he's like, babe, what are in those pills you're giving me? And I'm kind of sitting there a little concerned, like, oh, did he find blood from his ear or something? I hope you're okay. He goes, I feel amazing. I'm like, oh, phew, that's fantastic. Wow, okay, they work, but I still wasn't feeling anything yet. Messaged my beautiful friend, why aren't I feeling this good? And she reminded me that my body had been so depleted for so many years that I was going to take a bit longer. And I did. It took me 8 weeks before I woke up one morning, and I know I hadn't slept because my children didn't sleep. They still don't sleep. And I'd had one of those Saturday nights, I'm going to stay up late and I'm going to watch a movie and I'm going to have a life night that we do as mums. And, you know you shouldn't, but you're so determined to be a mum and not a zombie. And I went to sleep at midnight and I was woken up all throughout the night and got up at 6 a.m. And I remember getting up and sitting on the couch and going, I might make myself a coffee. And I thought, what? I don't ever feel like this. And then I realized, the magic. So 3 months after being on the premium capsules and the complete powders, we were on a holiday to fix up our marriage because the antenatal depression, my goodness, it took its toll. So we're on this beautiful let's fix up our marriage trip. And it's important, yeah? We've got to be open and honest mums, don't we? Women, wives, husbands. We go through these times, but we do survive. And we're in Queensland, we're driving to SeaWorld. And I realised that I felt so well inside, so healthy and nourished that I felt worth it. And I started to cry. And my husband turned and looked at me and went, "We're going to SeaWorld. What's wrong? Did you want to go to Movie World or something?" I'm like, no. I just feel I'm worth it. I'm so happy. He's like, "Oh my goodness, of course you're worth it. You are so worth it." And I just said, "And this huge penny's dropped. It's all about what you eat." And I started crying and kept crying. And then, of course, being a breastfeeding counsellor, I'm like, all the mums need to know about this, because obviously it needed to be breastfeeding safe and pregnant safe. Otherwise I wouldn't have taken it. So then for me became my mantra, nourished is the new black. Like, seriously, that's my fashion statement. That's what I live by. That's the beat of my heart. So fast forward 2 years today, around 2 years, I've been on the product, I've been in the business, and not only surviving antenatal depression, which is an amazing feat in itself, surviving motherhood, getting up and putting on clean knickers, that's an amazing feat. No, surviving that, but getting nourished and feeling amazing, and then bettering myself every single day, challenging myself by running my own business and trying to be the best person I can be. I honestly couldn't have done it without feeling nourished. And the best is yet to come. And I've already won 2 years on. So I'm so excited for you to listen to all the other stories tonight. I hope you enjoy it. And I'm going to pass on to Marie now. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Marie, and I'm really excited to have the opportunity to share with you a little bit about the program and the products that's brought us all here together tonight. As you heard, it's pretty powerful stuff. I've heard Shona's story, I don't know how many times now, and it gives me goosebumps every single time. It's amazing. So thank you, Shona. So as I said, my name is Marie. I'm a wife. I'm a mother of 2 beautiful kids. I've got a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. And I'm also a massive whole food junkie. You know, so it sort of saddens me, I suppose, that over the last 20, 30, even more years, we've seen this influx of just about every diet and fad under the sun. You know, most of those involve calorie counting, diet restrictions, and they're not really sustainable. And as a result, you see people's weight go up and down. And with their weight going up and down, you see the stress and anxiety levels go up and down as well. So that's why when I was introduced to the JBT program, or the Juicy Body Transformation Program, it was, you know, appealing straight away, because it was so different to a lot of the programs and the products and stuff that you see out there. So this is what I'm talking about. This is our JBT guide, the original one. And in a nutshell, it's hosted through Facebook. It's also available in a printed version as well. You can print up all of the guides, but it's primarily hosted through Facebook. There's over 20,000 people who have joined our mission so far. There's hundreds and hundreds of recipes on there. And that's, again, I've printed up one of the recipe books here. So there's 2 recipe books, volume 1 and volume 2. We've also got a kids recipe book, which is all kids food. We've got a shred guide. We've actually got a new shred coming out soon. And in a nutshell, the shred is just an 8-week program. Get back to basics, really pure, simple, clean eating. Again, no dieting, no real deprivation, and an exercise program that goes with that. We've also got a whole cookbook that's dedicated just to chocolate, so clean eating chocolate recipes. So there's a whole lot of stuff out there. In addition to all of those recipes, we've got detox programs, we've got exercise programs. And one of my favourite things is that there's a whole lot of support there. There's a massive, amazing, supportive online community. And you have lifetime access to that. Everyone who actually logs into the JBT program, it's not just for 1 season, 1 year, it's lifetime access to that incredible support. Every new cookbook that comes out, you get access to that. Now, when you pick up, what I love about it is when you pick up any one of these recipes and you open a page, you'll see something that's simple. I don't know if you guys are like me, that when you find an amazing recipe online or in any cookbook that you've bought, and then you look a little deeper and you look through the recipe list, the ingredients list, and number 1, you don't know what some of those ingredients are, and number 2, you don't know where to find them. So our JBT recipes are definitely not like that. They are really, really simple. There's probably, say, 5 or 6 ingredients in any given recipe. They're very much family friendly. My 2 young kids love them, and my husband also loves them, which is always a big win. And along with our JBT program, our clean eating program, we have a nutritional support product which is called Juice Plus. And here I've got the premium blend. So this is the fruit blend, the vegetable blend, and the berry blend. And what these guys are is 30 different fruits, vegetables, and berries that have been vine ripened. They've been allowed to stay on the vine or the tree or the plant, and then they've picked at their peak ripeness. And why that's really important is that when they're ripe, that means they've got the maximum number of nutrients and antioxidants and all that kind of stuff in them. So they're allowed to ripen until they're at that perfect picking point. They're removed from the plant, and then they go through a really gentle and beautiful process to remove the water and to remove all of the sugars. And then they're encapsulated, and I'll show you what they look like when they're encapsulated. So what you're left with here, these are the berry blend. So what you're left with here is just all of the nutrients. So all of the water's gone and all of the sugar's gone, and you're left with all of the antioxidants, the enzymes, all that kind of stuff in these beautiful, beautiful capsules. Now, the aim of these is certainly not to replace a healthy diet. That's what our Juicy Body Transformation Guide is for. So this is your Bible of what you eat, this amazing, clean, easy, real whole food. But the purpose of these capsules is to bridge that gap. I know that even for myself and my family, we follow probably 90% whole food organic diet, but it gets busy, life gets busy. And there are certainly those days when we don't get the number of nutrients and the number of servings of fruits and veggies that we should get. So these babies, the goal of these babies is to really bridge that gap for those days when you know that you're not getting what you need. So I like to think of them really as sort of like my health insurance policy. We take them, myself, my husband and my 2 kids, we take them every single day. So then when there's those days when you know that you've had fish and chips and you probably haven't had a big bowl of fresh greens for lunch, that you don't have to feel so bad, because they really fill that gap. This product came into my life about 2 years ago when I just had my second baby. So I had a 3-year-old at the time and I had a newborn, and I wasn't feeling myself, to be honest, despite having a really, really wholesome, rich diet. I was struggling. I was feeling tired, overwhelmed, just exhausted, and I'd lost that sort of spark, I suppose. And I'm certainly not, I've never really been into supplements or anything like that. I'm a big advocate of whole food and real food, and I was a bit of a preacher, I suppose, and just saying that if you just need to eat real food, you need to eat enough fruits and vegetables. But what I found 2 years ago was that I wasn't getting what I needed, even though I was eating that organic whole food diet. So I sort of bit the bullet, I suppose, and I decided I was going to go to Chemist Warehouse and I was going to have a look at what supplements they had. And when I went there, I spent a bit of time looking, and to be honest, I felt shocked, because when I picked up a lot of the supplements and looked at the back of the label, I didn't recognise the ingredients. That was the first warning that jumped out at me. And the second thing that jumped out at me was that there was a warning label on there that said not safe for breastfeeding mums and not safe for pregnant women. And I was a breastfeeder at the time, and I still am. But even if I wasn't, I thought, if it's not safe for those people, is it really safe for me to be putting in my body? So I left Chemist Warehouse that day and I didn't buy anything. Probably about a month or so later, Juice Plus walked into my life. Quite literally. I met Kyla at a park and we hit it off. And it wasn't long after that that I found out about these products. And the reason I jumped on them is because when I picked up the container and I looked at the back of the ingredients list, I saw a food list, and that was quite a stark contrast to what I saw on those in Chemist Warehouse. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to read you the ingredients list of the vegetable blend so you can see the difference. So the ingredients are carrot, parsley, broccoli, cabbage, kale, spinach, tomato, beetroot, rice, oat, garlic, and spirulina. So it reads as a food label. And the cool thing about that is it reads as a food label because, number one, it is food, and it's also absorbed by your body as food because your body recognises those ingredients. And that's very different to the supplements, the synthetic supplements that you find on the supermarket shelf and the chemist shelf and stuff like that. Your body doesn't actually recognise it. So a lot of those nutrients simply come out of your body as weed. So it becomes quite expensive weed at the end of the day. Now, these products have been around for about 25 years, I believe, so they're certainly not new. And they're some of the most thoroughly researched products of their kind on the market. There's over, I think they're probably up to about 35 peer-reviewed, gold standard scientific articles that outline some of the effects of these products. And they're all available. If you're a guest on tonight and you'd love to learn more, they're all available to read all of that research. And I've looked through a little bit of it myself. And some of the things that really jump out to me is, like I mentioned before, that these products are absorbed into your bloodstream within minutes of taking them because your body recognizes them as food. And one of the other exciting things that really jumps out to me about this research is that they reduce inflammation in your body. And if you're not sure what inflammation is, basically the cause of all disease in the body is inflammation. So think of things like, cancer, heart disease, all that kind of stuff, you get as inflammation. So by taking these, you're reducing inflammation in your body, and therefore you're reducing the chances of getting all these diseases, which seem to really plague our society at the moment. They're quite scary. We refer to Juice Plus, our company, as a company with a heart for so many reasons. But one of the things that I love so much is that they have something called a children's health study. And what that means is for every adult that buys our capsules, they get to sponsor a child that they know for free. So that might be for myself and my husband, that's our 2 kids. We sponsor one each. And might be a niece or a nephew or the person, a child that lives next door. So when an adult buys the capsules, a child can get free chews, all free capsules. And my little ones love the chews. So what it is, it's the goodness of these guys, all of these vegetables that I read out before, plus all of these fruits. So I think it's almost 20 fruits and vegetables. And they come in these delicious little chewy, gummy things that they think they're eating lollies. My kids don't actually eat lollies, but they think they're lollies, and they're certainly not coated in sugar. So the kids get all of the goodness, the adults get all of the goodness, and it's a bit like a 2-for-1 deal. So that's pretty special. And there's a health study that goes along with those free kids products. So when you sign up, you're asked to complete a short questionnaire at the very start asking about your child's habits. And then at the end of 4 months, you're asked to complete the same questionnaire. And the results are starting to come in from that study, and they are mind-blowing. It's been, kids are sleeping better, they're sick less, they're missing less days off school, they're doing better, like all that, all that stuff that we worry about as mums. It's just making a massive impact in families' lives, which is really cool. All right, so the latest product to come is our vegan Omega. And these are really, really, really special. What makes them so unique is that we've cut out the middle fish. So if you go to your supermarket shelf or Chemist Warehouse or something like that, and you look for a fish supplement or an omega supplement, you'll find that they're all fish derived. And what we've done is we've cut out that middle fish and we've gone straight to the source of the omega, which is the algae. And I didn't actually realise this before I started taking this product. We were taking a fish oil, and I didn't realise, I always thought it was the fish was the source of the omega, but it's actually what they eat, what the fish eat. So by cutting that fish out, we've gone to the pure natural state of the omega, and then we've added in some other beautiful ingredients like pomegranate seed oil, raspberry seed oil, sea buckthorn, and tomato seed oil. And these actually taste really good as well. They look like this, they're sort of gel-filled capsules, and they smell like raspberry and orange, and my kids love sucking on these. They eat one every single morning when they get up. It's like a treat. And omegas are essential for every single cell in your body, from your brain health to your joints, all that kind of stuff. especially for young developing brains and also for people who are getting older and those in the middle, of course. Yeah, omegas are essential. So I was so excited when these came along. Now, the last product I'm going to talk about is our whole food shakes, and I've got vanilla and chocolate here. We have these every single day in my house, my kids and I, and the kids think that they're getting, my kids actually prefer the chocolate flavour, and they think that they're getting a chocolate milkshake. So I normally add in, so one of these sachets, I add in a big handful of kale, a big handful of spinach, rice milk or coconut milk, something like that, hemp seeds, chia seeds, a banana, maybe some berries, and they absolutely love it. You should see how quickly they drink it, especially if it's frozen banana. They think it's super exciting. So they think they're getting a chocolate milkshake, but I'm just going to read some of the ingredients on the back of this as well, because it's actually quite a superfood shake. So there is pea protein, broccoli, radish sprouts, pomegranate, pumpkin powder, spirulina powder, mushroom powder. Yeah, all sorts of incredible things in this. So we love it as a breakfast. We also love it in our house frozen as ice creams. We've got some really funky little ice cream molds. So my kids normally get a hit in the morning and in the afternoon. And I personally love them after a workout, before a workout, or after a workout. And also as a, sort of 3 o'clock pick me up. When you're reaching for something chocolatey or sweet or something you feel like you really shouldn't be having, this is an amazing substitute for that. Awesome. I think that's just about it for me tonight. I am now going to pass over to Kyla, who will talk us through the rest of tonight. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Am I off mute? Yeah. Awesome. So my name is Kyla, and we're going to switch gears a bit now. We've heard quite a lot about the products, but the exciting part about this business is, I think the exciting part about this business is the business and what it can do for your family and what it can do for your life. So I came into this company 2 years ago. At the time, I was on maternity leave. I was, and I am still, a stay-at-home mum. At the time, I had one beautiful little girl, Nellie, and she was 15 months old, and I was at the point where my fiance was saying it's time to start looking for some work. It's time for you to go and start generating some income, babe. And those words, they killed me. I was petrified from that instant that I would have to leave her in daycare or with the mother-in-law or with anyone who would take care of her while I went and worked. And whilst I previously thought that that's what I wanted to do, when I became a mother, I realised that that is not what life is about at all. So this business literally fell into my lap. My sister-in-law saw a post on Facebook. Someone was after people who were interested in health and well-being, who wanted to work from home, and that is me. I never worked in this industry before. I worked in high pressure recruitment company. But my passions were always around healthy living, around exercise, around nutrition, around, talking to people about their health and their well-being. So to me, this type of job just seemed too good to be true. I watched a video similar to this and I thought, it sounds too good to be true. There's got to be a catch. So I did a little bit of research around the products and I was blown away at how amazing they sounded. And then I did a little bit of research about the business and I couldn't find any faults with it whatsoever. So being the little girl that I was, I ran off to my daddy and said, what do you think? And he looked at the products and he said, they look amazing. And his background is in organic plantations, organic vegetables and fruits, and growing organic gardens, and he couldn't find fault with the products. He thought they looked absolutely amazing. And then we spoke about the business and I explained to him about, what I would be doing and that I'd be basically sharing these amazing products and this awesome program with people, and he thought it sounded fantastic. And then my phone rang. And it was a team member, someone who I'd brought along this journey with me, and he said, who was that? And I explained to him it was a team member, and he flipped. He said, a team member. So it's a pyramid scheme. And I sort of said to him, what the hell are you talking about? So he told me that pyramid schemes were where the person at the top of the company made all of the money, and everyone down lower had to buy the same product for the same amount of money, but they couldn't sell it for the same amount of money or something like that. It didn't make any sense to me. But I did a little bit of research, and I spoke to Erin, my upline, and she told me that pyramid schemes are illegal, and they have been for a very long time. And we got speaking about what pyramid schemes are, and I've realized that my recruitment job was a pyramid scheme. So I've drawn a little bit of a picture of what my recruitment job was all about. So it was a very, very stressful company to work for, and I started this company as a consultant. I came in at the bottom because that's where everyone comes in, unless you've got an abundance of experience or you've got a university degree or you have, clawed someone's eyes out. So I came in as a consultant, and we had the most inspiring CEO. She was a multimillionaire. She held all these incredible meetings, and we all went along, and she'd have us dancing on tables and clapping and cheering. And she would say, "I'll see you at the top. I'll see you at the top." And we were all like, "Yeah, we'll see you at the top." And she gave out books that she'd written on how to become a millionaire. And we worked our butt off to get awards, and we worked our butt off to get invited to these fancy afternoon teas and morning teas. And sometimes we were successful in these bonuses, and we might even climb a level in this pyramid company that we worked for. So I managed to jump up 2 levels to become a manager, and I lost a lot of friends in doing so, and I also lost a lot of life. I was working my butt off. I was up at 4 o'clock every morning to go to gym, and then I was at work by 6:30. And I worked from 6:30 till 7:30 every day, Monday to Friday, at my desk. I had no lunch breaks. I had no friends. I didn't see my family. And on weekends, I was consumed with responding to emails and working for Serena, who was still throwing these amazing parties and still saying, "I'll see you at the top." Now, I was never going to get to the top because Serena was up there quite happily sitting on her Louis Vuitton couch with her Gucci shoes and her Jimmy shoes. So I was never going to get there. But Juice Plus is quite the opposite. Now, little old Serena, if she rocked into Juice Plus, she would still start right down here as a virtual franchisee, just like everybody else. The difference is in Juice Plus is that everybody has the opportunity to get to the top position of NMD. No matter if you're a doctor or a lawyer or a stay-at-home mum or an 18-year-old fresh out of high school, everyone has the same opportunity to get to the top position in our company. The other thing that's amazing about this company is that you have to help people and support people and love on people and put your arms out and bring people with you if you want to climb to the top. There's no clawing of eyeballs. There's no tearing people down. There's no backstabbing or bitching. And you certainly don't need to work Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. plus weekends to earn a really, really healthy income in this business. 2 years on the track from when I started this business, when I realized it's not a pyramid scheme and it's the biggest blessing that's ever come into my life. I now earn a full-time salary, and I probably spend about 10 hours a week sitting at my desk. The rest of the time, I'm owning my own life. I'm at the park or at the beach with my daughters. I am utilizing my phone, and I'm basically just running around enjoying life, talking to people about this incredible gift that this business has been for my family. So I hope that alleviates any concerns that anyone had regarding the whole pyramid scheme, because this is categorically not one of those. And I'm going to hand over to a beautiful friend of mine, Tracy, and she's going to tell you a little bit about how she came into the business, and I think a concern that she had when she first looked at it too.
Hi everyone, thanks Kyla. It's always good to hear about your story. See you at the top. Yeah, right. You are at the top. I guess some of the other concerns that I had when I first started, I guess I'll start actually a little bit about my own story. When I came across the product, my daughter at the time was suffering, I guess it's quite emotional because she was suffering quite badly with emotional anxiety. And this was triggered to me taking a bit of time out to study and better myself. So being a single mum, I was putting a lot of pressure on her to go to bed, to do what you're told, go to sleep. You know, I've got things to do. And then she was also going into grade 1 at school. So That's also a real tricky time for kids socially. I guess she always had anxiety, but this all together came in one big smashing ball to her and threw her way off kilt. So I saw, along with that, she also went vegetarian. So not only did she eat poorly, she also was not eating a lot of the things that I would possibly give to somebody who was vegetarian. So she was quite fussy. Along with all that, I saw a friend who posted about, getting fruits and vegetables into her child and how she was able to do it with just the chews. And at the time that all this was happening, I was at my wit's end. I thought, I don't know what else to do. She's not eating, she's not sleeping, she's having rage attacks, wanting to self-harm, wanting to harm myself. And that wasn't my little girl. So I knew it was diet related as well. So yeah, I reached out and said, look, I need to have some of those chews and I need them ASAP. So she started on the chews, and I'm not kidding, in literally 2 weeks, I noticed I had a different kid. She was sleeping better. There was none of that. I have a sore tummy at night time, which I thought was stalling tactics. All of us mums hear it with our kids. But yeah, all of that, I had great results with her. And in 2 weeks, yeah, she was sleeping better, eating better. She was introducing fruits and vegetables alongside of what she was having in the chews. And my relationship with her was back on track. And anybody knows, they love their children. They really value that relationship. And that was something I knew as soon as I had that back and I had her back and her relationship and she was in control again. I knew it was because of these chews, and I knew I had to have them in our lives long term. So I didn't quite know how to go about doing that until I saw a post that my friend put up, and she said, I have 2 positions available, and she was willing to help me learn as we go. And I went, oh, you know what, if I can have this product in our lives long term, I mean, one of those positions is mine, I'm all in. And so I signed up. I signed up without really knowing what it was that I was getting myself into. Excuse me. I was in up to here. Like, I was so far in. And then all of a sudden I kind of went, I don't even know what it is I've got myself into. Like, I've never done anything like this before. So I asked a few questions because I thought I needed to know a lot of people to do this. I mean, yeah, I'm a chatty person, but I didn't think I knew enough people to actually make this work. I thought I had to rope in all my friends and family, have them over for a party, make some smoothies, and then do the hard sell on them, like a lot of in-house parties and that sort of thing that you have to do. So I did, like I said, I asked a few more questions, and I really found out that it's actually so far from what my fears were. You don't have to know a lot of people to start with. Yes, I have. When you first start, it just, you share and you help people and it organically grows. I was also worried that I had to hold a lot of stock. Like, some of these parties and some of these businesses you're a part of, you have to fork out a whole bunch of money to start with to actually have this kit, which a lot of people don't have the excess money to start with. And then they have to go into houses and sell it. And I'm like, I'm a single mum. I can't be doing this of a night time. I can't be leaving my girl. I can't be dragging her around. I went, it's not one of those. I'm so glad it's not one of those. So I guess when I asked, did you have to know a lot of people? I guess I'll show you a little bit as to how my team grew. So that might help you understand a little bit more. Okay, so when we started in the business, it was just myself. I don't know, I'll put myself up there. And then I shared, turn this way. And then one of the first, I started posting about how amazing I was feeling and how great my daughter was feeling and the results that she was having. And I had a friend at school. She reached out to me because her little child has stomach issues. So a lot of food, she's not gluten intolerant, but a lot of foods are really harsh on her stomach. So she reached out to me and she said, look, Trace, I've been noticing, you know, Bonnie's feeling amazing. You've got loads of energy. And I've tried a lot of those other companies. I've done lots and lots of them. She said, this one really seems great. You know, none of that selling, that sort of stuff. So she jumped on board. And then she also shared it with a couple of other people. And just through word of mouth and helping them with their health. And then another one of the beautiful ladies I shared it with was Kylie at the start with as well. And she saw my posts about recipes and how healthy and how easy and how sustainable the recipes were and how yummy and how everybody in the family would love them. And she went, Trace, I saw that recipe you just put up and I would love to know more about the program because my child's been bullied at school. I've been overweight and obese and I really need to get on top of his health and and get him feeling better about himself. So she jumped on board with the program and it helped herself as well because she was quite, you know, lethargic and all of that. So she gained a bit of energy there. And then we also shared it to Nick, who had migraines, and Nick said, you know, I want a piece of that. She started on the product first. So she was having daily migraines where it would knock her out for ages. So after her great results of not having migraines and being bedridden for ages, she went, I want to part with that as well. So she jumped on. And as you can see, what we do is that we don't need to do the hard sell and we don't need to, you know, take anyone's credit cards. We just keep sharing and we just keep sharing. And as you can see, it just keeps growing and growing and growing. They like to call this the popcorn effect because it just organically keeps moving. And, you know, sometimes when you have your own business, if you get sick, you can't actually, like if you don't go to work, you don't get paid. So with this business, one of the beauty, I guess one of the good parts about it is that if I fall sick and I'm out cold and I can't do much, I'm still getting paid from helping people and, you know, making a difference in their family. And yes, you don't need to know a lot of people in the business, but you know what? Some of the beautiful boss babes that I do now know, I just can't thank them enough. They're so supportive. You're never alone. You're not doing this on your own. There's always somebody that's just, you know, a phone call away or a click away. And these babes, they're just, I would not be who I am without them. So for me, that is a big part of what this business brings to me or brings to my family. I'm so sorry, tongue-tied. So I hope that alleviates any of your any more questions or you know skepticisms you may have. So I'll pass that over. I think I'm passing it over to Kaz. So thank you very much.
Babe. I love your story and I love the way you speak and you talk about how, you know, this community of beautiful women are so much more than just, you know, your sideline and basically people that you work with. And, you know, for me, you're one of those people as well. So thank you. You're also so totally correct in regards to you don't know many people. Just to give insight to that, one of my team is from a lady that I met in the line at SeaWorld. Another is from a lady that I met at a kinder fair. So you really don't. And I love that about this business as well. I'm Kaz. For those who don't know me, I've been in the business for about 2 years now. And it's been the most incredible journey of my life. And, you know, I say that truly and honestly because I've been able to incorporate the most loved people and parts of my life into this journey as well. When I came across the business, I wasn't looking for anything. I was working part-time and I was boxing and I was actually pregnant with my second, and I came across these products from the beautiful Kyla. And again, you know, I met her at boxing, so I didn't know her prior to this. And I wasn't looking for anything, but I did know that when I had children, I didn't want to go back to my job. I didn't want to go back to working and doing what I had been, because that was a corporate travel agent. And like Kyla, I was in work or at work at 7 a.m. in the morning. I wouldn't leave work until 7 p.m. at night. Hubby would be calling me and saying, when are you coming home? Dinner's in the microwave. I don't think I ever ate a hot dinner for many years, because if people wanted to fly, you had to do it. If their things had to be changed, you were there, you had to do it. You were at their beck and call, you were at their demand. I was basically a PA, you know, and I didn't understand, I didn't know how that would fit into my life with children. So I knew before children that I needed to change. When I had children, I was blown away because that was more evident than ever before. I had this beautiful little boy that I didn't want to leave, and I didn't want to be at work wondering what he was doing, and I didn't want the stress of thinking, oh gosh, have I done that for work and have I done this for work? So I thought about things that I could do, and I thought about being a vet nurse. I love helping people. I love helping animals. I'm quite an emotional person. But with that, and being an emotional person, I take those emotions on board as well. And the thought of being a vet nurse, I didn't know that I could actually do that job, because if I lost a patient, a dog, an animal, then I would take that on board, and I didn't know that I could do that. I thought about being a nurse, and I really don't like needles, so that wasn't going to go down very well. I don't think people would like me injecting a needle into them while looking away. It's not a very good look. So that was kind of out. And everything I came across was just, it didn't tick the boxes until this. And what Juice Plus gives me is time freedom, is financial freedom to do what I want to do. It allows me to be with my boys, and I'm actually pregnant. This is why I'm probably a bit out of breath. I'm actually pregnant with my third, and the thought of leaving my boys and this one and having to go back to work just really breaks my heart. So I don't have to do that. I don't even have to worry about it anymore. It gives me the financial freedom to be able to give my children everything that they want within reason. You know, toddlers want everything, but within reason. And so I really love that about the business as well. So with that, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about how I get paid, how we get paid. It might just give you an idea of how things come in. And as Tracy said, you know, she said basically we get paid while we're sleeping, and we do. So we get paid 3 ways in this business. We get paid retail, commission, and bonuses. Retail is each time a product is shipped out, you get paid basically the difference between wholesale and retail. And that's with every product. If you go into a shop anywhere, it's the same. So we're just that person connecting a product with the person with the product. Commission is where you get paid while you're sleeping. So it's quite extensive. I would need to go and have a whole hour with you to be able to go through all the different ways that we get paid. But it's just incredible. And that is, it blows my mind how this business works, because it benefits everybody, not just the person at the top. And bonuses, that's what we get paid if we get to a position or you know, anything at sorry, my got baby brain, a position along the way in a certain amount of time. So when we all come into the business, we come in as a virtual franchisee. Now, one bonus that I haven't actually got on here that I'd like to point out is an awesome little bonus for those newbies that come into our business. And if they get to the first 1,000 points, you don't need to know what that means so far. It's really easy. In their first 10 days, they get a $100 bonus. That's like that's life-changing for some people. When I first came into the business, that was life-changing for me. And I just like to pass over to Sandra, because Sandra, I'd love for you to share your story and how you came into this business and what you're really excited for, because you're our new beautiful DVF and there's so much light and you've got so far to go and we're all here with you. So do you want to take yourself off mute and share your story with us?
Sure. Okay, I guess how I come into the business is I actually seen the 8-week shred, the first one for this year, and I jumped on that, and about 2 weeks in, I was really loving the products, and my upline Holly actually sort of put forward the idea of getting into the business, because I was already so passionate about everything about the program, the product, the results I was getting, everything. And I guess what really appealed to me the most about it was just seeing how well it was already working just for myself. And I guess I got excited about the idea of being able to spread the word and possibly make an impact on somebody else's life. I thought, what did I have to lose, basically, just by sharing my story. Sorry, I'm having a blank. I have a whole page of stuff here.
It's incredible. And so what are you excited for, love?
I guess I'm just really excited to see where it's going to take me. And say just from 12 months from now, I'm only a few months in, and just to maybe possibly tick some goals that I would really would like to achieve, which would be something as simple as not having to worry about the budget if I want to go do a big food shop, or just bills, basically financial freedom, as well as inspiring my family and friends, and so hopefully potentially changing lives along the way as well as my own. And yeah.
Awesome, love. And you know what? That financial freedom opens up so many doors.
It does.
And it just lights up your world. You know, it's not about the money, it's about what it gives you and what it gives your family.
That's right, yeah. Like just the weight off your shoulders would be amazing. And like you said before, like just with your babies and everything, even I think Kyla said something about if your kids want something like do gymnastics or swimming or just anything, like you don't have to sit down and go, well, I'm sorry, honey, let me check our budget first and we'll see how we go. I just want to be able to have the freedom to carry my family, basically. No more stress.
No more stress. I love it. Yeah. Thank you very much for opening up and sharing with us. It was just beautiful, and I can see just how much this means to you, and I know with that you're going to go very, very far, and you have all of us to support you in that journey as well. But I can see that you're striving for the stars, babe, so keep going. You're gonna rock this business. Well done.
Thank you.
So with that, the next level you get to is SDVF. When you get there, you can get a $400 bonus. With this business, it's all about, you know, you heard me saying to Sandra that we're all here to help her, and we are. This business is about teaching and helping people grow and building people up and letting them dream and then helping them achieve those dreams, because it's not what we can do as one, but we can do as, you know, as many. And to be able to see someone achieve their dreams is worth so much more than money. So with that, we get teacher bonuses as well, and your teacher will also get those bonuses as well. And I'm just going to pass over to Sarah. And Sarah, if you could share a little bit about your story and how you came into the business and what you're excited for, bub.
Hi, Kaz. Thank you. My name's Sarah. I've been in this business coming up 12 months. And it was when I found the products that I'd been looking for quite some time. I'm a single mum and I have 2 boys. And I was looking for some nutritional support to put into their diet to really close that gap on what they were eating and what they probably should eat. And I really loved the fact that they were wholesome and free of fillers. They weren't synthetic, and they were exactly what they said that they were on the label. And that really spoke volumes to me, because I was not interested in putting anything toxic or synthetic into their bodies. And it was not long after finding the products that I found the business. I had previously been in MLM before, and I had enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy the having to get out of the house and demonstrate in people's homes. And being a single mum, that became quite difficult, leaving my kids in the evening. And I just couldn't see it working long term. I saw the potential, but the structure of the business just was not suiting me. So when I looked at this business, I had that in mind. So I kind of knew what I wanted, what I was getting myself into. I was really, really happy to find out that I didn't have to travel and deliver goods and demonstrate products. I just had to talk to people and talk, and find out about people's health and their dreams, what they wanted to do with their lives, and how they wanted to improve their health for themselves and their families. And that's something I knew I could do, because that's something that interests me, and I'm a helper and I like to help people. So it was a really, really easy decision to take this on board. Previously, I have been a house cleaner along, as well as being a single mum, and house cleaning isn't that much chop, although it does pay pretty well. I was working for myself, but it's not something that I wanted to sustain. Wanted out as quickly as I could, and I found that this company could really help me to really achieve some big goals that I ultimately have for the future, for myself and my kids. Some pretty big ones. I like to work within the community, and I'd like to really give back to the community. And as my dad does, and as my granddad did, I think I've just taken on that within the family. And I'd really like to leave a legacy for my kids, and that's something I get a little emotional about. I'd like to be able to, for them to, think that I left this world something really precious for them and the community. So I'll try not to cry too much, sorry. That's really something that's kind of hit home lately. So I'm a bit of a slow comer in this business. I just hit my SDVF level, which is really exciting. I shouldn't be crying. But I know that as long as I continue and I persist and I'm consistent and I don't give up, that this business is going to be everything. that I want it to be and what I need it to be, and that I can not only help myself and my family, but I can help, you know, hundreds of people out there, hundreds of other families just like mine, in my position. So I'll leave you now without continuing to cry. But yeah, this business is really this is it for me, and it's really exciting, and I'm really excited to continue to hit my goals and just strive for the things that I would really like out of life. So I'll take it back to you, Gaz.
Oh, babe, you have me in tears. I'm glad my mute was on, because I was like sniffing away, like trying to hold them back. Babe, your children have you, and what a diamond they have. You're incredible, and you're going to leave the best legacy ever. So do not even worry about that, my love. You, everywhere you go, you brighten up people's worlds. You are so vibrant and so happy and so beautiful, and your soul just sparkles. So I'm so blessed to be a part of this group with you. Oh, I'm going to stop crying now. The next level you get to, I just whipped through these, is SC, and you can get a $600 bonus for that. We jumped to SSC, which is a beautiful $1,200 bonus. And I like to, I suppose, point this out, because it's not, again, I said, it's not about the money, it's about what that gives you. $1,200 could be more than a weekend away. It could be a family holiday. It could be adventures that you have with your kids. It could be time that you can have as a family, and so much more. Whatever your dreams are, you can have that. You can get up to QNMD, which is a $1,500 bonus. And then our leader, our CEO, or whatever you want to call it, is NMD, and that's $3,000. The difference is that everybody can be a CEO, and we're all CEOs of our own business. This one only you get, though. Your teacher doesn't need that. They're in excess of, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars. They don't need that. I talk about what this business can give you, and for me, it's what I can give to other people. I just want to share, just recently with my last pay, I was able to give my beautiful one of my best friends, a gift that she really, really wanted. She's pregnant with her first, and she's in New Zealand, and she's a farmer, and she doesn't work a lot, and doesn't have a lot of money, and all she wanted was a baby carrier. And she was asking me about what carrier I use, and this and that, and what's the best, and all that. We went through it, and then I said, so what are you going to do? How are you going to get it? And she goes, oh, I don't know. And I said, well, can I get that for you? And so I have been able to purchase a $300 baby carrier for one of my bestest friends, for her first baby, whereas previously I would scrape to probably buy a present worth $20, $30 for her. And that means the world to me, because that's going to give her the flexibility in life to be on the farm with her new one, to carry them close and really hold them close to their heart, and be the mum, or allow her to, you know, hopefully be the mum that she wants to be. So it's all about giving, and being able to give, and being able to give more in this business. So if any of this has touched you, I'm sure that if you're like me, you've had tears flowing, you've been smiling, you've been laughing across the board. If any of this has resonated with you whatsoever, please reach out to the person who invited you. Ask any questions that you have. There are no silly questions whatsoever. We're here to answer them for you, to help you, to give you support. And if you want to jump in, we'll support you through that too. But if you don't ask those questions, you're not going to get the answers. I encourage you to think about what this business could be for you, how it could change your family's life and your life. And if you don't jump in, is life going to be the same in a year's time? And are you going to be happy with that? So we're here every Wednesday night, all the girls from What If, plus we have surprise guests and star guests on at times. So join us every Wednesday night at 8:30 if you wish. Have a beautiful night. Go and hug your kids tight and enjoy your family, and we'll see you soon.